All right, guys. It's just me so far. It is the middle of the morning in the States, and it is in the middle of the afternoon here in South Korea. So I was like, is anybody up? Is anybody up? And then when nobody was up, of course, I decided, well, I'll just go ahead and eat lunch. And then I saw Jim was live, and so I pop in and tell Jim, I was like, hey, I'm getting ready to go live. If you want to come on over, feel free. And Jim has been nice enough to send his stream over to mine, so I could already see. Yep, those guys are popping in. So we'll let things get going here. I sent Jim the link, so once he's pulled off of his stream, he can I don't know, take a piss break and then come on over here. This is exactly it's a little different than how I thought it was going to go. I thought that for sure that Israel was going to hit first, and then letting Iran strike back, use that as the as the pretext to begin everything, and then the U.S. would then respond to. But no, I kind of like the fact that we took the initiative to go ahead and hit first, and Trump has already come out live and said that we'll cover all that. I mean, it hasn't been a busy week at all. I mean, we had a war in Mexico, we had a war in Afghanistan. We talked a lot about that yesterday, and now we've got a war in Iran. So it is a very interesting 2026 so far. Hey, there's the man himself.
How's it going?
Hey, brother, I appreciate you sending your folks over. I saw that you were up. I mean, you clearly you are.
I was just. This is what happened, dude. I was just getting ready to end after 3. I was like 3 hours. I got an extra hour. I was going. I was just getting ready to end, and then like right at the end, it was like, wait, we're attacking Iran. I was like, what? I'm like, I can't end now.
You cannot. It's the internet gods would frown upon you if you did that. But I'm glad to see you got some. I've really enjoyed seeing your channel develop. It's you do more of a news read, kind of like so this is what's going on in the timeline. I think that's very cool. It lets you talk about things that I just I wouldn't mind talking about on the internet, but like I try to keep the show more focused.
Oh, yeah, just totally. Like I started doing when I first started, I was doing stuff like talking about weird stuff like conspiracy theories, like ancient aliens and stuff like that. And I'm like, I love that stuff. I love it, but it's not really it's not really what people want, So
well, it's one of those kind of things. You gotta get a real big niche in order to really to make that stuff work. So yeah, I totally get it. It's been one of the things that I see more than anything is I see your shorts all the time. Okay. So I mean, just so you know that those are getting out there and out in the world, and people are seeing them.
That's good. That's great.
All right.
Were you able to wake up Joe?
Well, I'm not going to call those guys in the middle of the night. I don't, I would feel bad if I did that. Joe went to a outdoor show. Joe went to an outdoor show and everything like that. So yesterday, and so I bet he needs to sleep. So those guys get up fairly early. So, and somebody is going to call him and say, "Oh, we attacked Iran," and that way it won't be me.
Okay.
All right, let's look at the chat. Say hello to everybody. I love it. There's all new names that I don't know because they're your folks. So I appreciate you. If you are okay, so if this is the first time, if you're a one of Jim's chat members, and this is the first time you've been over here, welcome. This is the Council on Future Conflict. It's a Future Conflict channel, and we do a show 3 times a week in the mornings called the Council on Future Conflict. We do it the mornings because I'm in South Korea and everybody else is in the States, and that's the only time we can really make it work. So we talk about basically the wars that are going on in the world, the conflicts that are brewing, and the long-term trends that we see that can potentially affect security, and ultimately your guys' lives. So we lean heavily on preparedness. We are generally fairly conservative, but we try not to make the show too much about politics, unless politics of killing communists is a bad thing. Jim, I don't know if you've been talking
Tactical assessment. Red Chinese victory. Impossible.
What is that? Is that?
That's my soundboard. That's what I play whenever I get an extra hour.
Okay, cool.
America will never fall to communist invasion.
The communism and Muslims and the intersection of the two are about the worst thing in the world.
So, it is. It's bad, man. Like honestly, the more I was thinking about this, I am seriously worried that there's going to be an attack on the homeland in the U.S. Like, something's going to happen.
Well, this is going to be the use it or lose it moment for all the Iranian, sleeper cells,
for all the Hezbollah,
Hezbollah, Hamas sleeper cells that are over here. So I mean, it's definitely an interesting time, to say the least. I'll be honest with you. I thought last summer we were going to see a lot more of that, but we didn't. And as a matter of fact, he saw zero that I saw. I was expecting some Israeli embassies to get attacked, or there
was the shooting that the Israeli embassy that shooting that the two Israelis got killed.
Yeah, but that was I think that was less a Iranian-backed guy doing something at the.
Well, that was Palestinian.
That's what I was going to say. That's the only thing that I really saw and that had more to do with leftist influences in the U.S. I think than it does with the whole kind of Muslim Brotherhood.
And of course, Massey came out already saying Trump has no authority to do this. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Yes, he does.
I saw that. My kind of response is I like Massey. He's a congressman from my state of Kentucky, but ultimately, this is one I think he needs to sit out.
I knew something. I was going to say something the other night after when we watched the State of the Union, and I saw Chuck Schumer, the look on his face when he came out saying Trump needs to make the case to the American people about Iran. Schumer knew something was coming. Yeah.
Well, I think that Trump probably had so when what was it, Friday our time? So this would have been Tuesday or Thursday your time. I was telling people at work, I was like, the talks have collapsed, and I just feel like that is probably the last thing. And yesterday when we reported on Future Conflict was that the big indicator for us was when we saw all these embassy announcements, like when when Huckabee sent that email out saying that to get out of Dodge before it's too late. So that was yesterday. So no surprise that we're right back where we are. Massey's a grand stage. He has been very prickish lately about a lot of things that, some of which are important, but some of them are just kind of like, I feel like it's self-gratification. So, all right, let's kind of go through. Let me catch folks up. A lot of people are going to end up seeing this as a VOD versus live just because of the timing. So let me kind of do an update. I've kind of put together a little timeline. So quick context. You had the 12-day war last year, which was kind of the previous round. June 13th, Israel launched large-scale airstrikes on Iranian nuclear facilities, missile sites, military targets, and IRGC commanders and nuclear scientists. So mid-June, Iran retaliated with waves of ballistic missiles and drones targeting Israel. June 22nd, the U.S. joined with strikes on 3 key nuclear sites, Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan, using bunker busters and cruise missiles. And then June 24th, a U.S. brokered ceasefire took effect, though minor violations were reported since. Iran's nuclear program was set back, but not eliminated. So leading up to this current round, you've got December to January nationwide anti-regime protests. We've been covering those pretty heavily on Future Conflict back in January, and I kind of smelled the way the wind was blowing. I didn't know if this was the dog wagging the tail or the tail wagging the dog, whether it was CIA or Mossad that basically set this whole thing up. But ultimately, the people in Iran were not happy. And Reza Pahlavi kind of started raising in prominence, and you started really seeing people calling for his return in the streets. Let's see, January to February, indirect U.S.-Iran nuclear talks in Oman, Geneva, et cetera, stalled. The United States demanded zero uranium enrichment, missile limits, and an end to proxy support. Ultimately, if Iran didn't go with that, they were going to get what they got today. And that's exactly what they did. They basically fucked around, and now they finally found out. Iran refused core demands, and thus it brings us to where we are today. We've had a
something must have blown up at the talks, right? That the talks must have. Or do you think this was planned way like a week ago, 2 weeks ago? They knew this was going to happen.
I think they were going to make a hard ask, and you know how it is. If you get a hard ask, you can always lay down and go with it. But the problem is you lose all credibility with your hardcore supporters if you do that. And so Iran, the hardcore supporters are the ones actually running the government. So of course they weren't going to do it. So this was a kind of I think when you basically you put the things too far apart, there was never any kind of way to bridge the gap. And so,
do you think that Operation Praying Mantis is going to look like nothing when this is done?
Well, see, the interesting thing here is that we don't know the full scale yet, right?
Trump made an announcement saying he's going to wipe out their whole Navy, everything.
Oh well, I think that's true. The problem is Praying Mantis had a very kind of targeted use of ground forces, right?
I'm talking about with the Navy. I'm Navy guy. I'm talking about getting rid of the Navy.
Yeah. Well, I think, yes. I think that Iran will cease to exist as the country that it is. So to that end, yes, it will be. It will. It's just I don't know if it looks like the smart guys in the Pentagon are actually getting a chance to show what they can do. They did it with Venezuela, and now I think if they let the smart guys run this, get in, hit them hard, get out. I think Now that being said, the big question is what comes 6 months later, right? What happens when the dust settles and you've got 7 competing factions that want to take over the government, and the Kurds want to split off, and Iran decides they're going to invade, and the Baluch separatists down south from Pakistan are streaming across the border. So this is a witch's cauldron potentially.
There's still a very large portion of Iran that is not Shia Muslim.
Yeah. So
like more majority, like they're just being held hostage, basically.
One of the things that specifically the Persian kind of population has always said is like, listen, we're not Iranian. I mean, we're not Muslim. We're Persian, right? Yeah. Now, so you may be a Muslim as a Persian, but you are Persian first, and most Persians are forcibly converted. And so I think that if to that end, I think you're going to see a lot of people basically renounce their Islamic faith come out of this. I think you've already seen that.
Yeah.
All right. So let's kind of move up to where we are. Okay. So early morning. This is the interesting thing to me was the time of day.
I first I thought it was bullshit. And when it first happened, I'm seeing a few videos. I'm like, this can't be right. It's broad daylight in Iran. What? This doesn't make any sense. Like, this could just be an explosion. We don't know. And then once, like, I didn't really believe it until some news reports like, okay, it was reported everything. Then when Trump talked, I said, oh shit, this is real.
I believed it as soon as I saw the two things that I saw was the massive explosion at the leadership compound. That's how I knew it was Israel for sure. And then I saw the cruise missiles going across Iraq, and I was like, yeah, that's real. I just don't know if it's current. And then it was everywhere. It was in the, like within 10 minutes of me seeing that. So that's about the time I was deciding I might as well just go eat lunch now. All right. Actually, it's kind of an early dinner rather than lunch. All right. So you had Israel launched what it called a preemptive strike, codename Operation Roaring Lion / Shield of Judah, on multiple Iranian cities. Explosions were heard in Tehran, including areas near the presidential palace, the National Security Council, the Supreme Leader's residence, University Street, Jamhuri, and Sayed Khandan, plus Qom, Isfahan, Kermanshah, Karaja, and other sites. Iranian state media and residents confirmed smoke blasts. One airport was reportedly hit. Shortly thereafter, the United States joined with coordinated air and sea strikes. Dozens reported. U.S. officials described it as not a small strike. That sounds like a very Trumpian way to put some. It's not a small strike. And part of a potential multi-day operation targeting missile capacities, military infrastructure, and nuclear-related sites. Jacob Castro has rated the stream. Thank you, brother. I don't know who that is, but that's awesome. Appreciate you. Let's see. Maybe go back to where I was at. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz publicly confirmed strikes as a preemptive to remove threats. Israel declared a nationwide state of emergency, closed airspace, and activated air raid sirens in anticipation of retaliation. Again, U.S. time, early morning, President Trump announced via video on Truth Social that the U.S. has begun major combat operations in Iran, a massive ongoing operation to destroy Iran's missile industry, eliminate nuclear threats, and defend against the regime. He called upon IRGC members to defect. Mid-morning onward, Iranian state TV reported the country is preparing for crushing or strong retaliation. Iranian missiles reportedly launched towards Israel. Interceptions were reported. Sirens sounded there. Pardon me. Communication disruption and airspace closures were noted in Iran. Let's see. Current status. Let's see. The operation is actively ongoing. No full casualty figures or comprehensive damage assessments available yet. So there's an update here. Let's see. Iranian retaliation are underway. Iran has fired multiple barrages of ballistic missiles towards Israel. Air raid sirens are sounding across Israel, and the Iron Dome and other defensive have intercepted most, if not all, incoming projectiles thus far. No major damage or casualties reported in Israel yet. That would be amazing if they were able to just eliminate such a number that you don't have any, like real hits.
Especially that Netanyahu's address came out a half hour after Trump's.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah. Especially if it's in English.
It's not.
Oh, it's not.
I mean, it's written out what he's saying, but it's
yeah.
But there's also a thing I put in there too for you. Never mind. Sorry.
Iranian state media is calling it the start of a crushing response. Tehran has closed its airspace nationwide. U.S. and Israeli strikes continue, confirmed as a joint coordinated operation. Let's see. U.S. forces are now actively firing Tomahawk cruise missiles from Navy ships in the region, plus airstrikes from carrier-based aircraft and land bases. Officials say dozens of strikes are underway, and the operation is planned to last several days, far longer in scope than the June 2025 strikes. Additional confirmation or being confirmed targets being hit or struck. You got the government building in central Tehran, including the supreme leader's residence and presidential complex. There was some reports that he was out of town or he was on the move. So let's see. What else do we have? Military and missile production sites in Isfahan, Qom, Kermanshah, Karj, and western provinces were hit. Some reports mentioned senior IRGC commanders' locations. Let's see. In that video, Trump said he's described it as a massive and ongoing operation to raise the missile industry to the ground, annihilate their navy, eliminate the nuclear threat, and prevent the regime from threatening the U.S. He also hinted at regime change as possible outcome if Iran does not change course. Let's see. Have you heard any confirmation of any key leaders that have been?
It was something about said the defense minister or something like that. But then, like, I saw a post where he posted later saying, "No, I'm still alive." I don't know. Or someone's posted that Bahrain was hit. I don't know if that was.
Yeah, if you see anything that on X or whatever. Just
I've been looking on. It's so hard to keep track. I just put something in there. It said just basically talking about that they hit Iranian Parliament, National Supreme Council, Military of Intelligence. That's the first thing I put from Nick's order. It's got
hey, by the way, I'm going to drop a link in the chat here, in the private chat here for you. This is something you might find helpful, just as a general tool.
Okay. Oh wow.
And I got another one here. These are just ones that I use to kind of as monitor devices.
That's crazy.
Actually, I could probably share this one. Let's see.
I saw one earlier that was like that was like a showing like air traffic and stuff, and showed everything was just nowhere, like completely away. Yeah. Like get the hell away.
Well, so the interesting thing is that there was a lot of commercial air traffic, I guess, actually going over Iran while it was going on. Let's see. Reports are the Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, was safe and evacuated beforehand. This is multiple sources are reporting this. Moved to a secure, undisclosed location outside of Tehran before the strikes hit the area. No bunker buster or direct hit on him personally. Other figures, let's see, we got rumors and facts here. Commander-in-Chief of the Iranian Army, Amir Hatami, let's see, this is the main unverified claim right now. Israeli media and some regional sources reporting he was killed in the initial wave of targeting. Few outlets have even updated bios, nothing yet, but Iran has issued no confirmation or denial. You've got the president, what's his, Pezeshkian, reportedly safe. Judicial chief, I heard, is definitely killed, was what I had heard, and other IRGC commanders. Let's see. What's that chiming?
Is that coming from me or you? It could be this thing right here that I opened up. This glint.
I've got them all muted. So
how do you mute them?
Well, I know there was. When I set it up, it had a.
All right, I'll just close them that way. They won't do it anymore. That works better.
Yeah, you just mute the tab. All right, let's go through the. Let's see what's going on in the. So we got Tomahawk cruise missiles here. Let's see what we. Tomahawk flying over for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me reshare. If you guys in the chat hear anything that we haven't talked about yet, just bring it to our attention, and we'll get it up.
Yeah.
All right, let me add this back. I tell you what, eventually someday people are going to learn to turn their phones sideways, and all the videos will be way better.
Yeah.
Like visual Israeli intercepts of Iranian missiles over the Jerusalem mountains. Did you see the let's see, this is Iran just attacked U.S. naval support activity in Bahrain. That's what this is right here.
Okay, they did attack Bahrain then. Why did I mean, we weren't, I can't believe we didn't have an Aegis ship to shoot it down. There should have been a ship there.
What's that?
Should have been a ship there.
Well, but see, that's just it. They got all the ships out. They moved all the ships and all the kind of major.
The Aegis cruisers or the destroyers are going to have the best chance to shoot down the stuff.
But but they don't care about the empty base.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
It's like, we can always fix some concrete that you blow up. And I think they got all the kind of unnecessary personnel out. Let's see. Iranian high school students thanking President Trump for. Okay, here we go. Let's listen to this. I love Trump. Did you hear that?
yeah.
I mean, it's nice for the people of the country we're attacking to actually appreciate what we're doing. Hey, look, there's the stream live. Let's make sure I share it out there. If you wouldn't mind, let me just take this moment. If you are watching the stream, if you would be so kind as to, wherever you're watching it, take that link, share it out there with your social medias. We're live talking about Iran with, let's see, Jim. Let's see.
On X, I'm Jim Sathalia.
Yeah, I got you. There we go. So yes, if you'd just share the link out there, let people know that we're watching live. That'd be great. If I'm watching you guys on Pornhub. Awesome.
Hey, do I have my pants on at least this time?
Is this war porn? I'm down with a little war porn. Let's see. We got a fresh U.S. strikes on an Iranian military base in Tehran. Telecoms are down across the nation. At least 3 major cities have been hit. Remnants of a U.S. missile found. Let's see. Okay. Looks like it could be something. I don't know. That's in Iraq. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like Arleigh Burke's. I guess they're firing them towards missile facilities. They're going over in the skies. Over. Yep, right there. You see them going across the screen at the bottom. Let's see. Major General Ali Shadamani, commander of the Qatam al-Anibiya headquarters in Tehran, has been reportedly assassinated. The defense minister, that's the other guy that I had heard. This is Netanyahu's address.
Yeah, there's some saying that another guy was killed, but I don't know how accurate this is. That's the commander of the Qatam al-Anabi headquarters in Tehran was assassinated.
Yeah, that's the guy I was just talking about. Iranian missiles just struck Galilee. Joy and stoicism in bunkers in Tel Aviv right now. Okay. Well, I'm glad that they're enjoying. I'm glad it's segregated, those bunkers. You wouldn't want men and women freely associating.
Seriously? Well, it is actually it's the Sabbath there still. That's another reason I was like, come on, it's the Sabbath. They're not.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Until after whatever dusk or whatever sunset on Saturday night.
All right, so this is Reza Pahlavi. So let's read his statement. All right, here we go. My dear compatriots, decisive moments lie before us. The assistant of the President of the United States has promised to the brave people of Iran has now arrived. This is a humanitarian intervention, and its target is the Islamic Republic, its apparatus of repression, and its machinery of killing, not the country, not the great nation of Iran. However, despite the arrival of this assistance, the final victory will still be achieved by us. It is we, the people of Iran, who will finish this task in this final battle. The time to return to the streets is approaching. Now that the Islamic Republic is collapsing, my message to the country's military, law enforcement, and security forces is clear. You have sworn an oath to protect Iran and the Iranian nation, not the Islamic Republic and its leaders. Your duty is to defend the people, not defend the regime that has taken our homeland hostage through repression and crime. Join the nation and help ensure a stable and secure transition. Otherwise, you will sink with Khamenei's ship and his crumbling regime. And my message to the President of the United States, President Trump, is this. The honorable people of Iran, despite the brutal repressions and killings carried out by this regime, stood bravely for nearly 2 months. I now ask you to exercise the utmost possible caution to preserve lives of civilians and my compatriots. The people of Iran are your natural allies and the allies of the free world. They will not forget your assistance during the most difficult period of Iran's contemporary history. And to you, my dear compatriots in Iran, these sensitive hours and days, more than ever, we must remain focused on our ultimate goal, reclaiming Iran. I ask you for now, remain in your houses and remain calm and safe. Stay alert, ready to return to the streets for the final action at the appropriate time, which I will communicate to you. Follow my messages through social media and the satellite media. If disruptions occur on the internet or satellite broadcasting, I will remain in contact to you via radio. Brushbeater.store.
Yeah.
He might have his old Bell thing out. I don't know.
He probably does.
We are close to final victory. I hope to be with you as soon as possible so that together we may reclaim Iran and rebuild it. So evidently he's got a 6-month program that he wants to kind of work in order to transition Iran from where it is now to a functioning government. And I don't think he wants to be in charge of it. I think that's the kind of...
I was wondering about him because you know who's backing him big time is Patrick Bet-David.
Yeah.
You know, he's
he's a Persian. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. No, he wants him back. He wants the Shah back. I mean, there's a lot of Persians that want the Shah back. You know, all the Persians here in the U.S. No, the Persians here in the U.S. that want the Shah back.
Yeah, but I wonder if the Shah really wants to be in charge of a country.
I don't think.
I mean,
that's. I mean, maybe I don't know. He probably wants to see the country free and maybe having elections and stuff. That would be great. Now, I don't want to derail or anything about this, but you did see too. I'll get it to you later. That boat that got shot up at Cuba. They released a video showing all.
I saw that.
The guns and stuff. It doesn't make I don't know, man. To me, a 24-foot boat with all those guns and those backpacks and ammo and 10 people, I'm like, that boat's flipping over.
Yeah,
that's not a big boat.
It seemed like a lot of stuff to me. I mean, but here's the thing. This is all stuff that anybody could have bought, and so could
But
Cuba.
why would they not have had the bullets and magazines? Why are they in a cooler? Like, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
You could get magazines for, $2, $3 for, aluminum, what is it? The K, I can't think of the name of it. They're cheap ones. You know what I'm talking about? The ones like
no, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Just preload them, ready to go.
Now, this was an interesting one. Because this was one of the first videos that I saw, because this is the initial strike on the compound, the leader compound in Tehran. So listen to the women on this rooftop. Like she just bought some new shoes or something. So, I mean, I think what we're going to find is that the people of Iran are overwhelmingly behind this.
Yeah, I hope so. And that's what I think. This is not going to be Iraq. People are like, oh my God, Iraq. This is not going to be Iraq. You're going to have people that want to be free that hate this. I mean, you might have some fighting with some other extremist elements and different things, but you're going to be able to cobble together an actual government, I think, of people that want to see the country go back to the way it was in 1978.
Yeah. Even Tommy Robinson's already released something on this. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Iranian foreign minister. Oh, yeah, I saw that earlier. That was basically saying like we wouldn't go below 6. We want to be able to continue to enrich to 60%. You don't fucking need that for a nuclear power program, buddy.
No, it's like 18%, right? Or 20. Anything more than 20% is weapons, for weapons only. Even medical stuff is like, that is what it's like. I think it's 12% or something for a power plant, but like medical stuff is, Marco Rubio is going to be the new Shah of Iran. These photos of him and a different thing is just crazy.
I think this is probably the best meme since Fat JD Vance, if I'm honest. Yeah, this is a great point. Iraq and Afghanistan were never free or non-Islamic. Iran was in the 70s was. So here's the thing, like there were some very cosmopolitan parts of Afghanistan, and ultimately they were ruined by the encroachment of political Islam. And in Iraq, it was always an Arab country. And the thing that made it more cosmopolitan was Saddam Hussein and his regime. They kind of enforced the kind of more sectarian kind of or secular society. So but it really, I put almost everything when the rise of political Islam is the rise of the rise of the Muslim Brotherhood, essentially in the 60s. What else do we got here? Is Reza Pahlavi again? Sirens in Tel Aviv. Let's hear what the sirens sound like. I could see somebody turning this like 8 hours of rocket sirens in Tel Aviv as a YouTube channel to fall asleep to or something like that. IRGC headquarters reportedly hit by air. So let's check out Mario's timeline, see if there's any. You know, I'm not a huge fan of Mario, but man, he's got this finger on the pulse. He's got like a bunch of people working for him, just kind of scouring the world for that stuff. Unconfirmed reports claim that Iranian missiles are targeting the USS Abraham Lincoln, currently in the Persian Gulf. Ali Salim Air Base in Kuwait, the Kuwaiti National Security Agency. Interesting. Yeah, I haven't heard the Kuwait come out and just like deny us any kind of reaction or anything like that. These are Iranian missiles being intercepted over Abu Dhabi. So, I mean, this is a full-on regional conflict.
I was muted. No wonder you couldn't hear me.
I was going to say, yeah, this is a full-on regional conflict here.
Yes.
Not just...
well, that's why we moved those planes, the F-35s, to Jordan.
Yep.
Because we're going to be shooting stuff down, and then once they attack Jordan, then Jordan's going to say, "Well, we got to hit them back," right?
Well, and see, that's just it. You want to get the UAE to allow us to overfly and to support this from their bases. Hit UAE. That's how you do that. Let's see. This is Bahrain. So clearly the naval base there. I'd be interested to see if they hit our facilities in Qatar. Interesting that Trump said that neither side of this is coming out of this one without sustaining heavy damage. I mean, like I gotta say, I'm not. The one thing that you could say about Trump is that he doesn't like sell you a bill of goods when it comes to.
No, he said Americans will die.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and that tells me that they will probably do some limited special operations forces in the country.
They might try to snatch. They might try to snatch Khomeini.
Well, I'm sure he would love that. That'd be quite the feather in his cap if he were able to do that. Are we going to hear more reports of the discombobulator being used?
That was hysterical, right? The discombobulator.
Qatar just intercepted an Iranian missile over its airspace. At the same time, explosions were reported in Bahrain. Looks like Iran will go for just about every American base in striking range. Yeah, the problem is I don't know that they're going to be able to, to affect these. And so once they start shooting, that's when you know where they're shooting from, and you can send assets to go after these tells in all those locations.
Do they have their missiles are bigger than the Scuds? They're not that mobile, right? I mean, they can't just shoot and scoot, right?
Right, yeah. So all the the Iranian missiles are, oddly enough, they're very related to the North Korean missiles.
That's not odd. They probably shared the technology. I mean.
They do. Well, no, actually, I believe it was North Korean rocket engineers that helped them with it. So I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't start seeing some of the kind of the scud hunting tactics that we saw back in the original Persian Gulf War. I don't know if you remember that. So I could see us, pulling that one again. This is a map of Iran, just so you're kind of getting. So Isfahan, Qom, Tehran, Kharja have all been mentioned. Kermanshah right here. Tabriz, I have not heard anything about yet. Now, Tabriz is in the kind of the Kurdish region, and there were reports about the Kurdish rebels in Iraq kind of mobilizing in preparation to invade northern Iran to help liberate the Kurdish. Actually, let's see Kurd. C-U-I-R. Let's see what if anything's going on in Kurdish Twitter. You got your. I can't wait for the AI slop to come out. It'll take about a.
I seen some already of that Iran put out. One of them was it looked like a B-2 bomb, leaving an Iran coming out of a base and immediately fly. It's like that's totally fake.
Yeah. Well, we watched that actually last night on CFC. That was pretty funny. Let's see. Kurdish Peshmergas are stationed and have cleared to all Peshmerga to turn back to their soil. We spoke to the Kurdish Peshmerga. We're prepared to enter when needed. So it sounds like there are Peshmerga units in Iraq that are basically on standby to come help the Iranian Kurds. Kurdish internal security forces in the Syrian army. Let's see. Oh, this is all related. This is from January when all the Kurdish. See, this is the range of the Kurdish people. It's kind of a big area. All right. Anyway, let's see. Go back. See what OSINT Defenders got.
This could really get out of hand fast, especially with the shit going on with Pakistan and Afghanistan.
Well, so that's just it, right? Basically, hey, good morning, Derna. It's nice to see you. Some of the CFC crew I see are starting to wake up. Finally, just
Well, it's still like really early for Joe and Watcher. It's like what 2 a.m. where they're at or something.
It's 4:23, 4:28.
Where I am, but not where.
Yeah, Eastern, Montana, right? Yeah. So it's 2:30 in the morning. Qatar reporting that they repelled multiple attacks. We've got I believe we've got a Patriot battery or something along those lines in Qatar. I know there's a THAAD over in theater too that I've seen reported. A U.S. Fifth Fleet Support Center was targeted in an Iranian strike on Bahrain. Additionally, we are now seeing reports of explosion in multiple U.S. other partner nations, including Kuwait, Jordan, and the UAE. So one of the things that I always thought, if you can get all the Arabs pissed off enough, at Iran, then at least they'll sit back. I know, but you've been giving me a hard time, Alpha. So Alfarius and Omega. By the way, one of my favorite. Huh?
How are the Saudis going to react if they start shooting missiles at the Saudis?
Well, so that's just it, right? If they start shooting the Saudis, then the Saudis will fight back, and potentially, and this has always been the kind of the subtext on the whole. This is like the subtext of the whole idea of the Abraham Accords, right? With the whole idea was basically to establish a military kind of nexus between the Gulf states, the Arab Gulf states, and Israel. So this, I think, theoretically would, if you were to A, have Iran attack the Gulf states, and then B, destroy the Iranian regime, that would kind of bring everybody together in a way that it's like, hey, listen, we can now just fucking do business. We don't have to, spend an ass load on military spending anymore. Because let's be honest, it was the Iranian existence is what's caused the absolute, meteoric rise in military spending, since the 80s in the Middle East. Isn't the THAAD in Israel? I believe there is a THAAD in Israel. Yeah, there might be another one though in one of the Gulf states that I'm not tracking. What
about what Derna's saying?
What's that? Let's see. The thing where it could go wrong is if Iran decides to move through Iraq with ground forces. They literally have Area 51 in the Yeah, so here's the thing, right? First of all, the Iraqis don't want the Iranians in Iraq. Now, you could say, oh, well, Scott, but what about the Popular Mobilization Forces, the PMF? Those are Iraqi militias supported by Iran. They are generally Shia, so there is alignment, but they are still Iraqis. I will remind you that most of the Iraqi soldiers who died in the Iran-Iraq War were Shia. Were Shia. They were not Sunni because the majority of Iraq's population is Shia. There is nationalist sentiment. Also, the Iranians are like 70% Persians versus, Iraq is almost, like 70 to 80% Arab. So there are like dividing lines between those two countries, right? So it wouldn't. Now, here's what I think is likely to happen. I think a lot of the IRGC Quds Force types are going to hang around in the Middle East for the next, 15 to 20 years, causing all kinds of trouble, starting various terrorists. But once Iran is gone, that kind of cuts off the money that supplied all that stuff. And once those, Popular Mobilization Forces in the case of Iraq, or if it's Hezbollah in Lebanon or Hamas once the money is gone, you're going to start to see very quickly the clout of these various different groups is going to go down. I mean, let's be honest, like, there's always going to be somebody who wants to pull the trigger on somebody else in the Middle East, but the vast majority of people just want to fucking get along with their day. That was my experience both in Iraq, Syria, and Afghanistan. See a Quds Force Azov buddy movie of the future. Hey. Live from outside the continental United States, if he can get back connected again. We'll give him a second. Let's see.
How's Virginia Gentleman doing?
I haven't talked to Stan in a while. He's been busy and doing his own thing, and it's just one of those kind of things where, it just.
I haven't seen anything from him in a long time. That's why I was asking. I didn't know what was going on. I used to get to see his posts regularly on X, and haven't seen any.
Yeah, I mean, like the one that I missed that I haven't seen in a coon's age is Don. I missed my good buddy Don working.
I mean, everything's settled with him, right? He doesn't have any more legal problems, right?
No, I think he's good to go.
Okay.
Lance Corporal Veteran for $1 over on Rumble says, hello, and what's the update? The update is we're fighting a war with Iran. It's war! All right, there we go.
Old Hong Kong.
Another Jim. Are you there, brother?
Hey, how are you guys?
I just realized I can't call you Jim with Jim on the show here.
Hey, Jim.
Hey, Jim.
Jim, doctor. Hey, Shifty's like, pound sand, Scott. Not our fault. It's the middle of the night.
Exactly.
What do you think, Jim, thus far?
Well, the kind of tell was yesterday when they defaced Churchill's statue in front of Parliament. And lo and behold, here we are. It's about time.
I thought as soon as I saw the Israeli embassy warning, I was like, oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So everybody pulled their people yesterday or the day before, and I don't think there's any way around it because the mullahs are so embedded, and the IRGC has nowhere to go. So I thought the big part of Trump's speech was, we're not gonna come after you if you don't fight. But they just hit Bahrain. They hit the port facilities in Manama. So it's going to be real, and it's going to be a difficult one. And I hope Reza Pahlavi is ready to go and pick up the pieces because he's not a bad guy. But it's going to be very hard because the diaspora has been gone for so long. But I wish them all the luck in the world that they sort it out.
Well, one of the things that I'm kind of thinking is that as long as they didn't hit the Arab Gulf states, I felt like, well, this might be a couple days, and then they hit some of the key leaders, and then like kind of what we talked about, the bags of money arrived to the colonels and the mid-level leaders in the military, and all of a sudden the military says enough of this bullshit. We're shutting this shit down. And they step in and take over.
Yeah, you need the patriotic and well-funded colonels at this point. It's you need the combo, and you'll need some people to accept royalism because it's been out of their system for a long time. But I think Reza's job is to go back and get elections up and running as quickly as possible. That'd be my bet. And don't let the country be run by a bunch of stiff suits wearing combat boots running around a green zone. Right? I mean. We made the de-Baathification efforts, and that was a fucking nightmare.
That was one of the worst things that we ever did. That, and we fired all the military people.
Yeah, so
they had nothing to do with the Ba'ath Party.
Well, they also knew where the bodies were buried. I think we would have had a much better report out of that country if we played that side of it a little more effectively. But here we are. We're going to do the Persians, and I don't have a hell of a lot of time. I got 30 minutes. I got to make a flight, and then. But I'm hopeful, and the streets of London are quiet, which is always a good sign. And, I'll be home tomorrow.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad to have you back in Montana for sure. I know. Joe's needs a new. He needs his pancake buddy back.
He's doing fine.
He's doing fine. I know. Lance Corporal Veteran for $2 says, how probable is there any chance of transition? I'll throw this to you, Jim. What's your take on the potential transition here? I think it's high, but
which Jim?
He was talking to you.
Yeah, I'm talking to old.
Oh no, I think they've got a government transition plan in place, and I think Reza Pahlavi will be involved in it. And clearly, not everybody's on board with Reza, but he's a good guy. He's been consistent. He's well liked in Washington. He's well liked in the American diaspora. But when you get people out of a country like Iran, you have fragmented society in some cases, and you got a lot of different faiths. You've got the Jews, you've got the Zoroastrians, you've got the Baha'i, you got a bunch of different folks, you got Arabs, you got Azeris, you got Kurds. People don't, they think of it as monolithic. I think a lot of people want to go home. I think a lot of people want to go see relatives. I think it's a classic story of the diaspora, and I think the Persians are very capable, so I'm on board with them going back and setting it up. Reza will be very high profile. And I hope he acts as a facilitator. I don't know what the plans are, but my goal would be to have him be kind of the ombudsman of how this all shorts out.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know that Reza wants to take the long-term reins, like he's
it would be too much about my opinion. And again, I don't want to rain on his parade. My opinion is that he would become too much of a lightning rod too quickly if he was going to pursue the royalist approach. But as a returning royal, you can accomplish things, and he knows all the parties, right? The question is how much animosity has built up over the years since '79 in Iran for the folks in the U.S., which is kind of what Reza is. But Reza's been busy for the last 10 years going around and talking to the diaspora, and I'm glad he's getting his moment. his dad would be happy.
I thought Trump's tone was pretty good. Specifically, I did like what you had mentioned earlier, where it says here, U.S. President Donald Trump said that Iran's security forces must lay down their weapons or face death at the hands of the U.S. forces. He also iterated the administration's stance that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. I think he was pretty spot on, I think, with what Trump needed to say.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think the government's doing a very good job on foreign policy. I mean, people are doing their best to pull Trump off the light post, right?
Yeah.
But I very much like what's going on internationally. I think Rubio's stepped up. I mean, we have a very good team in the cabinet. Most liberals' heads are exploding on a daily basis. For me, these guys are great, and the more they do in the short period of time they have, given how hostile the Senate has been to them, the better.
Here's a video of the strike on Bahrain.
Yeah, they show the port.
Can you drop the link in?
I just put it in.
Is it okay? All right.
I think what they did is they got some of those short range ballistics in there. That'd be my guess. But it's burning.
Oh yeah, that's the actual impact. Yeah. Let's see. Let me blow this up here. What I think will be very interesting is to see how accurate all of these return fire shots are.
How accurate the Chinese guidance systems are. Yeah.
Exactly right. Well, I'm curious if they try to use any of those new, what is it, the CM 302, the supersonic cruise missiles that apparently they were in the process of buying.
Well, with all luck, I hope they haven't figured out the interface yet. Let's put it that way.
Right. 100% right.
That's where the Israelis are helpful, right?
Let's see what disclosed has got. U.S. officials see Iranian strikes extending for days, probably weeks. Russia's Dmitry Medvedev says the peacekeeper is at it again. The talks with Iran were just a cover. Everyone knew that. Well, he's not wrong, I don't think.
Well, I think you got to give Trump the benefit of the doubt here, and this is something that everybody jumps on. And clearly, Medvedev is an oppositional voice, but he's an effective one. I think Trump really wished that he could negotiate with Iran. The problem is the Iranians are not going to give up their uranium. No. They're not going to give up any plutonium they may have, and they're definitely not going to give up on the ballistic missile systems because they make too much money from China and Russia on that. So it's an industry that they have to get the foreign currency that they want, right? So.
There's another angle of that same shot, by the way. And they definitely hit something by you could even see the missile come in. You see it right there?
Yeah.
Is it ballistic or cruise?
It's a ballistic.
Okay. Oh my God.
Those are Americans.
Okay.
A lot of American contractors work at that base, by the way. Jim, have you seen the? Old Hong Kong. Have you seen the responses of the people dancing in the streets, like what we're looking at here, and the women, kind of,
the Persian
giggling and laughing.
The Persian people writ large, so the Azeris, the Baluchis, the Arabs, all of them, they're going to be very happy. They're going to be very happy after this. Iran used to be an agricultural powerhouse, right? It had incredibly good fertile farmland. It had good export contracts. It had canning facilities. It had, it had consumer goods. It had global access. It had money. It had oil money that filtered down into the society. And the Middle East needs it, right? So they need a step in kind of breadbasket place that has labor and reliability. And Persians are smart. And their engineers are great. And we've got to put it to good use. So I hope the Middle East puts a lot of effort into this too, because the reconstruction is going to be epic. Got to come online quickly. So.
Well, see, that may end up being the big moneymaker everybody thought the Ukrainian reconstruction was going to be. If the government falls and Reza is able to set up some sort of a caretaker government, it's going to be like the gates are open. And China once again will miss out.
Oh, terrible! Oh, so sad.
Well, if you're China right now, you got to be thinking like, holy shit, how did our world go from pretty damn good middle of last year to the point where like we lost Venezuela, we lost Iran, and they're in talks like with Cuba somehow to potentially flip Cuba. I don't know about that one yet, but
well, I think the way it's becoming is everywhere is here. And that's good. That's good. It's a re-rationalization of foreign policy after 30 or 40 years of stepping on ourselves, right? And that's the good part of Trump. The bad part of Trump is he's willing to be disruptive to achieve an outcome, which really bums a bunch of people out who are panty waists, and we all know who the panty waists are. But he's been very effective, and I'm really pleased that this is underway. And it, sometimes doesn't go the way you hope. You can have crazy people, you can have fifth column people, you can have all those things. Here I am hopeful again that it works out well, because I really do like Iran and I like the Persian people. I'm 100% behind freedom for them.
Yeah, here's another. Let's see, is this another American? Is that during the call to prayer? Sounds like it.
So how big are those, Scott?
You talk about the warheads?
Warhead size, those 250s?
I'd say these are about like 2,000-pound warheads.
So
maybe
that's
1,000 pounds. I mean,
those are big warheads then.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. All of the ballistic missiles have pretty sizable warheads. And then here's the other thing you got to remember: with the ballistic missiles, almost all of them are hypersonic at some point in their flight. And some of them are hypersonic into descent, depending on the missile, right? Just the kinetic energy alone, though, that just kind of adds to it. I mean, I don't know if you remember the kinetic energy strikes that they did, that Russia did in Ukraine. Those were pretty significant, and those were not explosive warheads.
Yeah. What was that book, Rods of Heaven, where they had the tungsten penetrators?
Rods from God.
Rods from God. That's right.
Yeah, the whole idea there is this idea of fractional bombardment, where you've got a satellite in orbit that has basically these giant, tungsten telephone poles that you could just drop, and they would use the Earth's gravity, and they wouldn't have an explosive warhead on it. It would just be the kinetic energy of the tungsten penetrator hitting the Earth, just sub-nuclear levels and it can go from there. It just really depends on how big the penetrator is. All right. So what else would you look at as something that could happen coming out of this? Anything you're kind of going to be looking for?
I've got 5 more minutes. I would just say watch for the fifth column activity in various places. Yeah. Watch for the fringe jihadis. Stay frosty is kind of the.
Oh, by the way, before you go, I don't know if what's your take on Pakistan and Afghanistan?
It's more tribal nonsense. I mean, Yeah,
Yeah.
There's some guys who are better to talk about that. I mean, my thought on Pakistan is growing up a little bit after years and years and years of American and Chinese largesse.
Yeah.
But I also look at the Bangladesh independence, the new movement there. I'm hoping that they're a good government. I mean, we got a lot of things going on in South Asia that we're going to have to get right. But what's happening is the Afghans are kind of bent out of shape. The Tali are bent out of shape, that they're not getting the aid that they were promised, and all the tribes are infighting. So, and I'm going to guess there's a little bit of money flowing to get it going. Would be my guess. It doesn't really matter where the money comes from, but there's money flowing. So,
well. So here's the thing that I think is kind of key to remember. With the Taliban, never was designed to run a peaceful government. I mean, the Taliban is just, as a movement, is just not suited for that, and thus it was inevitable that it would spin out into some sort of self-destructive,
Well, yeah, it's so there are two pathways for what are basically religious police, right? So a lot of countries in the Middle East had religious police. You have the Mutawa in Saudi in the old days, and they'd go around and make sure everybody was abiding. That's basically what got out of control, that psychology of putting religious police on the street. So the IRGC is kind of the religious police within the military. And you could translate that into the party. Those are the party zealots, right? And the Taliban was exactly the same thing, transplanted into Afghanistan. So it'll never work. It'll always spin out of control at some point.
Yeah. Well, Jim, you have a safe flight. I'm glad you were able to jump in and educate us a little bit on some of this stuff. We're always smarter after you weigh in, so we appreciate it. I'm sure we'll be talking at length about this on Monday. So if you're around in the morning on Monday, we'd love to have you weigh in with us.
Okay, cool. It'll be interesting to see where it goes. So everybody pray for the young Persians, and let's hope it works out.
Exactly right. All right.
Thanks, guys. Bye, Jim. Bye, Scott.
Later.
Take care.
All right. What do we got here? You dropped some links here.
I dropped some links. Check them out. There was this one I saw that I was like, but I don't know who this guy is.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. Let's see next. Doug McGregor. What does he have to say?
He's just posting, and that's another angle. It looks like of this.
Oh yeah, another angle of that. Yeah.
This thing. I don't know who this guy is. If it says he's geopolitics expert, I'll put it in there now. I don't know. This guy should not.
Yeah, this is the embassy in Bahrain. Let me post this, and we'll.
There's a better angle than Tomahawks too. That's a good.
All right, let me get to this one first. U.S. Embassy in Manama. The security alert. There is a media reports threats of missiles and drones over Bahrain. I don't think there's media reports. I think there's fucking physical evidence of it. The U.S. Embassy urges U.S. citizens in Bahrain to shelter in place, review security plans in the event of an attack, and to stay alert in case of additional future attacks. U.S. Embassy personnel are sheltering in place. Action to take. If you hear a loud explosion, all right, so it's just all the kind of basic stuff. Yeah. I mean, if you like, let's be honest, you shouldn't be anywhere near that freaking place at this point.
I would think most of these people would have been told that all the non-essential people would have been out already, right? It would just be the people that should know better.
All right, so we got some aftermath footage, some BDA on the Iranians. Let me blow this up.
Supposedly Ahmadinejad's house. Ahmadinejad, former president.
Poor guy. Guys, that reminds me so much of Turkey. Well, I mean, you couldn't happen to a nicer guy. The question is was anybody home? All right. What's this next one? All right. Let's see. This is some expert's opinion. Let's see what he has to say. He is a independent analyst. All right, let's see what he says. The United States has never deployed F-22 Raptors to Israel, not during the Gulf Wars, not during the 2024 strikes. When was this? Today.
You just posted it, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was just looking at the time. Not during until this week, 11 F-22s are now sitting at Ovda Air Base in the Negev, confirmed by satellite imagery. You need to understand the F-22 does that no other aircraft can do. It does not bomb target. It kills the things that protects the targets. Its radar cross section is small. Okay, so yeah, got it. It is a stealthy fighter. Whatever is being planned is larger than what happened in June. Yeah. All right. Well, fantastic. While I did not mention the F-22 yet, if you are watching our program, you know as much, if not more, than this post gives off. I always love how, like, you're reading all the experts, you know. This is old footage, by the way. This is from last June. Situation Abu Dhabi, people fleeing.
I saw that somewhere else about Abu Dhabi.
Let's see. This is Iran striking Tel Aviv. Initial interceptions are going on. Oh, Mark. That's one of my buddies, Mark Sibley there. What's the over under? Are they going to put troops on the ground?
I think there's already Israeli troops there, aren't there?
Well, there's probably like maybe Mossad and maybe some Israeli special operations, maybe, but that would probably be it.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, we might have some. I'm sure we have some assets there, like CIA maybe, or whatever, Knox. But I don't know.
All right. So here's what I'm thinking. We have got 240 folks sitting in the chat right now watching the show. I appreciate all of you guys being here. I think what I'm going to do is, Jim, are you going to bed now? Is that what you were?
No,
that was the original plan?
Stay up. I don't know. I mean,
well, because what I'm thinking, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to push pause in the coverage because I'm just not seeing a whole lot of new stuff. And then what we'll do is probably go live at our normal time. And if you're up, if you want to get it, you can. You're welcome to come on. Let's see. Yeah, I don't take my my percentages from him. I'll be honest with you. As soon as I didn't say this on the show yesterday, I said high likelihood, but it's sick of hanging with. Shut up. So I'm gonna push pause. We're gonna come back in about 3 to 4 hours from now. So around 10 o'clock my time. So that's 8 Eastern ish, 8 to 30 Eastern ish, normal start show. And I'll have Joe and Watcher and Jim. If you're up, feel free to join us. Nice to see some of our mods joining the. Finally decided to wake up. So we'll be back. So if you want to just check, we'll like the notify. If you haven't done it, by the way, if you subscribe and then hit the bell for notifications, YouTube will let you know when we go live. So that way you guys can make sure you catch it. If you are a fan of Jim's and you came over, give us a sub and give us a like. We'll be going back live with Jim, hopefully here in the next 4 hours or so. Well, we should have a lot of kind of stuff to kind of aggregate between now and then, and then and then I'll be able to kind of cover the old ground with Watcher and Joe and Jim. If you
1 second, Chooch has been on it. Everything he's posted so far has been right. And so I just want to point out he's saying UAE is joining the war. So I don't know. I'm just saying everything he's posted, I've checked, and I'm like, oh shit, he's right. He's right.
I wouldn't be surprised. So I'll be honest with you. I think that Jordan was already in. I think Kuwait was already in because those guys really rely on us heavily. UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Abu Dhabi are all kind of saying, listen, don't do this. We don't want to, but I think UAE and Abu Dhabi Abu Dhabi is part of the UAE, I guess. I think they will join based on this. I think Bahrain will join.
If they hit something besides U.S. bases, if they hit something else that looks like it was purposely targeted, they're coming in.
And Qatar, I don't know. Qatar is probably the only one that's on the fence 24 hours from now, but that could change if Iran actually hits something important in Qatar. Yeah, we'll talk about that too at the next when we go back live later in the day. And if we will we'll make sure everybody knows on. Based on our X, we'll announce when the show's going to be going on. You'll get, we'll try to give you guys at least 30 minutes notice before we go live. All right, Jim, anything else you want to make sure the folks are tracking?
No, I mean, I would just, like I said to the people that were on my channel, so many people might have been here. I would just pay attention over the next, coming days and weeks to, keep an eye on where you're at, what you're doing. Keep your head on a swivel. Make sure you're paying attention. If something sketchy or wrong, get out of there. Go home. Be safe, because there are people here that are going to want to do something about this, in my opinion. That's all. Well,
so here's one of the things, and we'll probably talk about this when Joe comes on, but this is the first kind of thing that could potentially show where the Iranians actually pull the trigger on their sleeper cells in the U.S. and those people could get activated. If that's the case,
I mean, this is use it or lose it time. You know what I mean? If they take,
that's exactly right. Everything that Iran has could be used over the next few days. So don't be surprised.
I mean, Trump said on TV, his statement was, this is the end of the regime. They're gone. We're taking them out. So this is it. They're going to do what they got to do to survive. Or, if they think they can do something here in the U.S. that's going to cause us to pull back or stop, they're going to do it.
Aftermath of U.S. strikes in Tehran. All right. So we'll be back. We will, keep your head on a swivel if you're going to be going to any public event in the near future. We'll be back, and until then, y'all stay safe.